Good morning, students. Have a good day. So in previous class we studied about the concentration of the solutions. In the concentration of the solution we discussed what is saturated solution, what is solubility, what is unsaturated solution, and expressions of the concentration of the solution. There are three ways to express the concentration of the solution. Here we solved one of the problem about the concentration of the solution. They already mentioned in the textbooks activity 2.1. Example 2.1. Here they give a solution contains 400 gram of common salt in 320 gram of water. Here mass of solute is 400 gram. The common salt is 400 gram. That is solute, and this one is solid. Here mass of solvent, that is water. How much it is? 320 gram. 320 gram. We will find out concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. Mass by mass percentage of the solution. What is the expression of mass by mass percentage of the solution? What is that? That is mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. This is the expression of mass by mass percentage of the solution. So we already, this one is mass of solvent. So we already have mass of solute. They give only mass of solute. First we find out the mass of solution. The formula to find the mass of solution is mass of solute plus mass of solvent. Mass of solute and mass of solvent. The mass of solute is 40 plus the mass of solvent is 320 gram. Final, the mass of solution is 360 gram. The mass of solution is 360 gram. Shall we substitute these mass of solution to this formula? So mass of solute is divided by mass of mass of solution into 100. Here the mass of solute is 400 divided by 360 into 100. Divided by 360 into 100. The final answer is 11.1%. 11.1%. The mass by mass percentage of the solution is 11.1%. Next we discussed about water suspension. In previous class I told you both A and B obtain a same shade of solution, but group C obtain another shade of the solution. What is that? That is suspension. Suspension. It is a non-homogeneous mixture. What is obtained in a group C? What they are obtained? Group C, in which the group C obtained non-homogeneous mixture in which the solids are dispersed in a liquid. The solids are dispersed in a liquid. The group C added chalk powder into the water. That chalk powder is a solid. So water is a liquid. Here the solid chalk powder is dispersed in a liquid. So that we call it as suspension. So the solids are dispersed in a liquid is called suspension. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. They cannot dissolve the solute. They cannot dissolve the solute. So they suspended throughout the bulk of the medium. So suspension is a heterogeneous mixtures in which the solute cannot be dissolved. They suspended throughout the bulk of the medium. And the solute particles in suspension, the solute particles can be seen in our naked eyes. ನಾವು ಬರಿಗಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ಆ ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. The solute particles can be seen in our naked eyes easily in a suspension. So, what are the properties of suspension? What are the properties of suspension? First is, we already know that suspension is a heterogeneous mixture. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture, and that is the first point. Heterogeneous mixture. And the particles of the suspension, we can see in our naked eyes. ನಾವು ಆ ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಸಾಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬರಿಗಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್. Particles can be visible, can be seen in naked eyes. That is another property. And the particles of this suspension, they do not scatter a beam of light. They do not scatter a beam of light passing through it and make it part visible. Sorry, they scattered a beam of light passing through it and make it part visible. They scattered a beam of light. A torch itkondu navu light na pass ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ the light get scattered. They scattered a beam of light passing through it and make it part visible That is one of the properties. Scattered a beam of light. In a suspension, the solute particles get settled down when left undisturbed. ಆ ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಹಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟರೆ in a suspension, the solute particles get settled down when left undisturbed, and the solute particles can be separated. The mixtures separated by using the process of filtration. By using the process of filtration. The particles can be separated by the process of filtration. Suppose the suspension of particles get separated. The suspended particles get separated. They do not scatter a beam of light. They do not scatter a beam of light. These are all the properties of suspension.